safe investment and a market with upside where the government is not in their way but is for them.
So let's say they have $10 million and they want to invest that money. How you differentiate of what do you advise to buy, a multifamily, a warehouse, or a retail store?
Good question. So if there's an investor that has no clue and is just coming to me for advice, I ask them questions that basically can help me understand.
How they like to manage a property, no?
Yes,
more or less.
like,
how do they feel with this type
like
of
you
property?
mentioned a group from Mexico.
Good morning. We are here with my friend, the real Wolf of Aventura, Barrett. How are you, Barrett? Welcome.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Okay, welcome. Barrett's a good friend. He's a commercial realtor, specializing in commercial properties in Aventura, in South Florida, let's say.
All over Florida.
Retail, an office, and
multifamily, industrial, and I'd say anything and everything commercial.
Okay, so we want to know more or less now between the different rates, the different markets, how you see the commercial real estate market in South Florida.
So good question. Right now, the way that I see it is, of course, with the political climate, there's a lot of New Yorkers moving into Florida. We've seen it over the past year, maybe year and a half actually since COVID, longer than that. There's a lot of capital flooding to South Florida.
Correct.
There's already, all the international money coming, and with all the kind of things up in the air, everyone's safest bet is always to invest in South Florida, invest in the United States.
Right.
So we're lucky enough, you and I, who are working in South Florida, to be the beneficiary of this traction. So I see things very, very positive over the past 6 months.
Capital inflowing from different countries and also up north and west to South Florida.
100%. I think on the development side, a lot of things have stopped. There's projects that are continuing to finish on the multifamily, high-end residential. We've seen kind of a pullback in the office sector.
Because of COVID? Or?
Kind of. I think the remnants of COVID, and office in particular is unique, but I'm starting to see kind of trajectory forward. Things are getting more positive, and I've had actually a couple developers reach out to me recently about office condo and about medical condo projects that they want to launch in South Florida.
In South Florida.
Yes.
Nice. So how you explain the audience, the regular investor, what's the difference between residential and commercial?
So two completely different product types. When you're buying, I don't know, if you're an investor who's buying residential condos, let's say, I don't know, at Aquilina.
Okay.
Completely different product than buying 150 unit multifamily in, let's call it Little Havana. Or Homestead.
Okay.
Complete different
you
product type.
You need a management crew, you need
extensive management. It depends if the product is new, there's nuances. It's a complete different business.
Right.
And you really need to know what you're doing.
Of course. A lot of realtors are pushing for pre-construction, new developments to buy a property and wait for the value added and also the rent. Now, with a multifamily, you have 150 units or 20 units, you're looking for a cap. What are you looking, how you differentiate different properties, commercial real estate properties, let's say multifamilies, for the caps? How you calculate the caps, or how you see if the caps are real based on the publicity of the LoopNet?
Okay, so great question. We're here at your corporate office, by the way, beautiful office in 10X Center.
10X
and the real difference to take from my client, from Ryan and Grant Cardone, is cash flow. When you're buying pre-construction, it's a promise. When you're buying existing multifamily and existing industrial, existing retail, there's cash flow. So there's no promise. Typically, my investors...
So you're looking at the P&L and balance sheet of the actual 100%, property.
Yeah, financial statements, rent roll, you're checking the credit of the tenants, but there's actually something tangible that you are buying that when you buy, you take over. It's not a promise. It's what is. And it's up to you to do your due diligence with your team to go through each deal and make sure you're buying at the right price. Now, when you're buying commercial real estate, you can buy, like you're talking about, at a cap rate.
So explain the audience what is a cap rate.
Yeah, so for all intensive purposes, it's just a return on your money.
Exactly.
So we're taking the NOI, the net operating income, and we're dividing it by a market capitalization rate, or what the investor wants.
Exactly.
So the top tier markets, it used to be that you're buying multifamily, Class A multifamily at a 3.5 cap. Now,
which is low.
Which is very low. But people were willing to do it because they believe in the upside of the markets, the upside of the rents. And now in South Florida, even in prime markets, you're not seeing that anymore. No. And the challenge is that, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, the groups that were buying at those numbers, there's been a lot of competition. There's been, I don't know, I'll call it a lot more development, so more product. So rents are coming down from where they pro forma'd, and they just can't right now sell. Or if they do want to sell, they're selling at a number that no one wants to buy because in your business, like, interest rates have gone up.
Correct. Interest rate went up and the caps went down.
100%.
So there's no a good product or good fit for an investor, let's say from Mexico or from New York, to buy a multifamily in Miami. But maybe they can go to Tampa, Orlando, the different markets.
Yes, I'm seeing not just in Florida. I'm seeing a lot of now multifamily investors want to look in up-and-coming states, all red states, by the way, Republican states.
Yeah.
Just because of taxes, not because of political preference.
Correct.
At the end of the day, an investor, what do they want to do? They want to make money.
They want to make money. They want interest rates, yeah.
Interest rates, safe investment, and a market with upside where the government is not in their way, but is for them.
So let's say they have $10 million and they want to invest that money. How you differentiate? What do you advise to buy? A multifamily, a warehouse, or a retail store?
Good question. So so if there's an investor that has no clue and is just coming to me for advice, I ask them questions that basically can help me understand.
How they like to manage a property, no?
Yes,
more or less,
like,
how do they feel with this type
like
of
you
property?
mentioned a group from Mexico. If there's an investor from Mexico that rarely ever comes to the U.S., or let's say he comes every couple months, he doesn't really want to be bothered. He's a high net worth individual, and he's just looking for a safe place to put his money with a nice return. Nice return, I consider, is 6%.
Triple net? Meaning,
Well, what I would say is I'd put them into a triple net retail product, whether that's buying, I don't know, a Raising Cane's with a long-term lease.
Used to be Walgreens and CVS, no? Walgreens and CVS.
It's tough now. Now every Walgreens and CVS,
they're shrinking,
and you got to be careful. You got to be checking different cursors, which is like
traffic,
store sales,
the
traffic, the demographics around, to see what they're going to do. Because as everyone's read, there's been a lot of Walgreens closing. There's competition from Amazon.
Correct.
You got to kind of see the future. Even people who bought standalone Starbucks or standalone banks, those banks have closed their location, and now you're stuck with you bought at a 5 cap, and that's based upon the income of the bank, and now you're left with a product. So you got to
and it's
really,
a single tenant.
It's a single tenant. So you need to align yourself with the right broker, which
Mr.
is
Barrett
me,
Wolff.
that understands the market, that can look up what's the zoning, what are the potential development. Like, you got to look now, I would say to every investor.
You have to look 360, not only the cap.
You have to. You can't just look at cap rate. You have to understand, if the worst case scenario happens, what am I going to do with this property?
What about warehouses? A lot of people are buying warehouses.
It's a huge influx.
Close to the airports, like in South Miami or Homestead or Opaloca.
It's an unbelievable market right now, industrial. I'm sure everyone who's a residential or commercial broker or even investor, if you're following Traded, South Florida Business Journal, you're seeing huge trades in the industrial sector. The reason is what I just talked about. The competition to Walgreens is Amazon. There's a lot of need, not just Amazon for industrial, but there's a lot of need for industrial space.
Right.
Why? Because there's a lot of commerce happening, and you want to be near an airport, near a port, near a major railroad. Like, that's a place to buy industrial, and there's different pockets. Like, if you look at Doral, what's happened in Doral, which is one of my favorite upcoming. I mean, it's not upcoming; it's already coming.
It's already
there. But industrial rates there to buy used to be, let's say you could buy at $75 a foot. Now, good luck trying to buy stabilized industrial, and it's crazy to even say, but it could be pushing $400 a foot.
400. Wow,
yes.
I thought it was
There's
200.
No,
400.
200. You can't even buy now. Like, you'd say Hialeah, which is another city that I love, is a sister city, but now rates there are pushing over 200 a foot. We were talking to a seller today, and he's like, unless you're over 300 a foot, I'm not selling.
Wow.
So again, these markets.
That sector is growing a lot.
100%.
Industrial.
If I was an investor, I would be looking into that sector, because even in a downturn, like you see a lot of different groups, some of the groups we work with, and there's different areas of industrial, but small bay, you've probably heard of small bay. It's similar to having an executive suite office center.
Right, they have
small tenants. Flex, small tenants. So if one goes out, if the market goes down, one goes out, it's easy to fill, and it doesn't really affect as much as if you buy an industrial project that has one tenant that occupies 200,000 square feet. God forbid something happens with that tenant, you're going to be in trouble.
Correct.
So different things to look at, different areas, like you said, where maybe you make certain investments. But yeah, industrial, keep an eye out on industrial because it keeps growing.
And what about multifamily? Because a lot of people say, okay, everybody needs a place to live. So multifamily is always there. People need to live. Low income people need to live in some place. So the rental should be growing. But I don't see a lot of movements now with the
So that's also an interesting thing that's happening in South Florida, which is, and we source a lot of land to multifamily developers. Some of the best developers are in South Florida. Shout out to all you guys. Appreciate your faith in us. But what's happened is for the renters, the people who need an apartment, it's a great time because there's been so much beautiful product added in major locations, even submarkets like Aventura. Right. There's 1,800 units under construction right now on between Ives Dairy and 163rd.
West Dixie Highway, it has probably 4 to 3 multifamilies, yes.
Complete rebirth. So if
And the prices are high.
They're high, but also there's a lot of competition. So what does that mean? That means, and similar product. So if I'm a client, I'm going to go to one place, another, and bid them up against each other. And for now, it's tough for the developers.
Correct.
That's why you don't see more new starts. You're not seeing a lot of cranes, for example, in Aventura. But if you look long-term, I'd be buying, like now we're in kind of a lull where you can buy land at a much lower basis than you did, let's say, 6 months ago. And I'd say if I was the developer, I'd be looking and locking in for the future in locations like Aventura because I think it's just going to...
Let's say Viceroy in Aventura.
Yes. Different product, though. Right. Those are condos.
Condos, yeah. So they stopped doing it.
They stopped doing it, but I think...
Because of the construction costs or interest rates or no
It's the same thing, the multifamily guys. It's like you don't see anyone building, like the clients that we work with, they will not go and build high-rise. They want mid-rise product now. Why? Because it lowers the construction cost because of the parking. So, and they know they can get the same rents, but as soon as you go high-rise, your construction costs go way up, and then it affects their return. So we started the conversation like, what will investors want to buy commercial real estate? It's the same thing for developers. Everyone's looking for a return.
Everybody.
So you just got to be careful, and smart money is the best money. So when there's a lot of risk, you don't want to be going forward and starting construction on 10 projects.
Investors should look for land, like land banking.
South Florida, it's funny because like if you look at guys like Moishimana, he's a land banker.
Yeah.
He hasn't done a lot, but his property values just kudos to him.
In Wynwood.
I mean, it just keeps going. He had a vision.
Yeah.
You look at a guy like Craig Robbins, who bought into an area where no one even thought of. You
Midtown.
look at, Midtown, I mean, Design District. Now you saw these trades happening at over $5,000 a foot. Yeah. Like it's
he
crazy.
Bought a lot in South Beach also, no?
I think between him and his family, yes. I mean, there's been a lot of families that have had that
Diesel
vision.
family, they bought in Sunny Isles 40 years ago.
The Sofer family in Aventura.
Yes.
Shout out to them. But yeah, I mean, I'd say if I was an investor, I'd be aligning myself with someone like me or like you that understands the market well.
Exactly.
And can give them the right advice and is not going to put them into something like knowing what their preference. There could be someone who's like, I want to
What do you say when investor comes to South Florida and says, it's too high, the prices are too high. Everybody says it's too high. So wait, and it's going to be higher or just you think
That's the thing is like you can continue to wait, but real estate is like this. It's not just like, and honestly, if you look in South Florida, it's like this, and it just keeps going up.
Like George Pettis was saying, if you wait, there are ups and downs, but the curve goes up.
The curve continues to go up. I think if we talk and we sit down here 10 years from now,
Right.
the numbers that we just talked about in Doral, they're
Right.
just going to be, we're going to be
Instead
like,
of 400, it's going to be 1,000, let's say.
yeah, like that's what I think.
Let's
So-
say a realtor or somebody that it's out of graduate school or from high school and wants to start doing commercial real estate. Is your advice, because you are a
Yes.
legend here in
Well, I don't know about that. We're trying.
in Aventura.
But mentoring young guys and girls is like one of my greatest passions.
Okay.
I think that to get into commercial real estate, number one, they should take some real estate courses in college to get a feel.
Okay.
And while they're in college, they should get a job working for either an internship during the summer or during the year working for a real estate company. Whether that's someone like me
or developer
or developer, whatever
Right.
they want to
towards
see
commercial.
towards commercial.
Yeah.
So
There are not a lot of commercial real estate companies here. There's
No, there's
CBRE
not.
or Colliers
There's-
or JLL.
yeah, there's the nationals, there's guys like me. There's not a lot because most realtors think that they just want to go right into residential.
Pre-construction
because
residential.
That's
yes.
it. And honestly, I think that there's like a barrier where people think to entry into commercial real estate, but there isn't. What we do is not rocket science. It's just something that needs to be learned, and you need to have the same
Experience,
knowledge base
yeah.
and experience, and you can do it. Anyone can do it. So I'd say number one, I'd say if you want to get into real estate, it doesn't hurt you to go and get your license right away.
Correct.
Because then to a
You
residential
need
broker,
a different license for commercial real estate?
no,
The
same
real estate?
license,
Okay.
same license. And then what I would do is once you have that license, I'd go and you can come to me, come follow me on Instagram or write me on Instagram. I have a lot of people that reach out to me,
Perfect.
and I love that.
Okay.
Like either call me, email me. I mean, my number's everywhere. It's
Yeah.
behind us right now. You
Yes.
can find me. I'm sure you can find a lot of other people that
Right.
are doing well that you can have as a mentor. And I'd take that route and go and have the experience. What I say to everyone, though, is if you're going to enter brokerage, and you know, too, as a mortgage broker, it's going to take minimum of 6 months really to get
Yeah,
traction.
to understand where you're going, what you're doing, a year to see
year.
the cycle, buying, selling, refinancing, buying, selling, different. Yeah.
6 to 12 months, you need to have patience, but you need to be in the right environment learning, and if you have that patience, you'll succeed.
Exactly.
It's just a matter of numbers.
It's a better number. And then the last question, and I'll let you go.
Yes,
I know that
yes.
you're busy, is how you see the interest rates affecting the commercial real estate in the lending market.
I think it's affected it a lot, especially, I mean, in every asset class, but we're focused a lot on multifamily as we talk.
Right.
And there's a lot of groups that own deals that cannot sell right now because the interest rates are just too high for the buyer.
Right.
There's not enough juice left in the deal.
Correct.
And they can't sell because they don't want to sell at a discount.
Correct.
So they're waiting. We talked about the market. They're patiently waiting for these interest
You
rates to drop
foresee a
down.
cut of 1, 2, 3 times in the next 6 months? Or
I hope. I
Now
hope
with
for
Trump.
all of us that
Yeah.
there's a lot more deal flow and transaction volume, and I think it'll help a lot of the developers, whether that's refinance, whether they have a mezz loan. That there's a lot of different instances where lower interest rates can help everyone to continue to push the ball forward.
Yeah, and a lot of people that bought after COVID, let's say in 2021, 22, and they had 5-year fix, they will
Yes.
start
That's
changing now.
That's
And
the challenge for all of them, and
Yeah.
that's where everyone's wait and see.
wait and see if they're gonna come up with the liquidity or they're gonna
Or not.
or they're
And
gonna
if they
sell.
don't, they have to sell, and they're going to have to sell at a discount. It's going to affect a lot of investors. I say for every big deal or steal that you see, there's also people that are affected on the other side.
Correct.
So for all of our sake, I hope that things adjust properly and we see healthy transactions happen.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much for being here.
No, thank you for having
Barrett
me.
is the #1 commercial real estate broker in Aventura in South Florida, and it's always great to having you here.
No, thank you so
Thank you for
much, my
coming.
man.